Hello IEEE volunteers and welcome to a new episode of IEEE 5 Minutes. Officer reporting is the vTool you use to update your OU's officers list after every election. In this video, we will walk through how to use it and then conclude with some important information, so make sure to watch till the end. For student branches, reporting your officers is also one of the 4 main requirements that you need to do every year to maintain your student branch activity, be qualified for the annual rebate fund, and prevent your student branch from being dissolved. Once you go to vtools.ieee.org, click on vTools Officer Reporting on the right sidebar, then Manage Officers, then either type your OU code or a keyword from your OU name. As an example, we will type in the name of one of Tunisia's active student branches. You will start seeing a list of all the OUs with the typed keywords categorized into OU types. This can be regions, sections, chapters, affinity groups, student branches, and more. In this example, we can see the affinity groups, the student branch, and the student branch chapters of the search school. To show you how it looks from the inside, let's take a look on this student branch. We can now see the reported officers. Here, you can do 3 things: add a new officer, update an officer's end term, or request a new officer position. Let's go through them by order. Firstly, to add a new officer to a certain position, click the plus icon next to it. Then, type in the officer's IEEE membership ID, which you can ask them to get from their IEEE profile, or even look it up yourself on OU Analytics, which is another tool that we'll talk about in a separate video in this playlist. Then, you add the term start date and end date. Keep in mind that after the end date, the officer will be automatically removed from this position and will lose their access. Secondly, if you want to update someone's end term, click on the edit icon next to their name, adjust their term end date, and click submit. This can be useful to extend someone's term or end it earlier. To immediately end an officer's term, set the date to a past one, like yesterday. Note that you can also apply this on yourself, which ends your term. Thirdly, to grant an additional officer access to your OU vTools, click Request a new officer position, make sure your OU name is correctly mentioned, enter your request, and click Submit. Such requests can be asking to add the student branch mentor position. The IEEE staff members will then review your request and get back to you within a few days. Once your request is approved, you will find the new position vacant and ready to fill. Soon in this video, we will cover more examples of additional positions that you can request to add. You're almost an expert in using the IEEE vTools officer reporting, but to master the game, there is some information that you need to know, such as officer terms, number of officers per position, examples of additional positions, and knowing who has access to update your officers list. Officer terms. The chair, vice chair, secretary, and treasurer each typically serve a 1-year term and may nominate themselves for another year in the same positions if they wish to continue. The counselor holds a 2-year term and is recommended to be renewed for up to 6 years. This is mainly because a counselor can become even more productive after 2 years in office, with the experience gained through multiple generations of student branch volunteers and the connections made within the university and the local IEEE section. Number of officers per position. 1 officer usually holds each position to ensure clear responsibility and accountability. However, depending on the size and activity level of the student branch, more officers may be appointed to the same position. It is recommended not to go beyond 1 counselor, 1 chair, 1 treasurer, 3 vice chairs, and 3 secretaries. Examples of additional positions. You can request to add new officer positions to your student branch as previously seen. Any new officer added will be granted access to all your student branch vTools. For example, a webmaster helps maintain the branch's website, and by adding them to your vTools, you can delegate tasks such as events reporting and IEEE web hosting, which are 2 more vTools that will be covered separately in this playlist. This position is already added by default to optionally fill it. The Student Branch Mentor advises and guides the Student Branch Executive Committee. We will cover more details about the responsibilities of each position in the Volunteering Roles playlist. If your university demands giving vTools privileges to your faculty dean or department head, you can also request to add these positions. Please note that you should not request positions like Vice Chair Technical and Vice Chair Non-Technical. Instead, add both officers to the Vice Chair position. Access to update officers. Any reported officer has edit access on all the student branch's vTools, including officer reporting. If no active officers are there to report the new ones, you can either contact your sectional or regional student representative or attempt to report the new officers and wait a few days for your request to be reviewed. And that was 5 minutes. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode of IEEE 5 Minutes.